Howdy folks, welcome back to my World of Tanks replays with the mighty Jingles. New intro there, which you've undoubtedly noticed. I've just signed a partnership deal with the TGN network, one of the bigger YouTube partnership networks, so things should be looking up with these guys helping to promote my videos. So, you know, yay for me. But anyway, you didn't come here to hear about partnership deals. We want to see some tanks, fighting, killing, all that good stuff. And we're in the T28 Prototype, we're on Westfield. It's a tier 8 maximum game, so good start. Now, the T28 Prototype. I'm really starting to get to like this thing. I mean, it can be a difficult tank to love. The grind, until you get that top gun on it, is not very good. It's not one of the worst grinds in the game, but, you know, it's up there with them. But once you do get that top gun, this is a dangerous tank. Now, traditionally on Westfield, the tank destroyers that stop on this side of the map like to head up to that little hill up there. You can see where the SU-152 is going. But it's not that good a spot. And in a machine as slow as this, I'd probably get hit in the flanks on the way up there. So, instead, I have decided that I'm going to chug my way forward across this open field, which is a bit of a risk if anything gets in there ahead of me and artillery is keeping an eye open. But I do have 203mm of frontal armour, so I can probably bounce a hit from anything that gets into the other side of that town and spots me coming, if I have to. But I've made it, I'm in artillery cover, and I'm ready to anchor the defence on this side of the town, which is quite lucky because the only other things that have come up here with me are an M6 and a Tiger II, so it's down to us to hold the centre. And, oh hello, I'll have you. There you go, first blood to me. We've lost a T-34-85, who appears to have charged down the middle of the map and straight into the teeth of the enemy defence. So it's one each. Now I was kind of worried when I saw a Super Pershing platoon on the other team. Oh hello, Tiger P. Can we hit him? Come on. Yeah. Okay, missed. However, Super Pershings, a lot like the T28 Prototype, very slow, very, very good frontal armour. Their gun isn't great, however, but they can take a beating, and, oh hello, I'll have you now. Yeah, there we go. 2 kills. But unfortunately for the Super Pershings, they've started with the medium tanks down by the enemy deployment zone where the flag is on the map, right at the bottom of the valley. And they're not very fast machines. Yep, tier 7 TD, and we'll have you too. Can we get that KV-1S before we reload? No. Okay, anyway, yeah, looking at the map, my right flank is now secure. I don't have to worry, and I can now turn my attention to, here they come, the 2 Super Pershings. It takes them this long to get up the hill and into the fight where they can actually start shooting at things. Unfortunately, by the time they get up here, the tanks that they were coming up here to support are dead. So let's just get into a position where I can give these guys the good news as they come over the hill. Here he comes. Now remember, very, very tough frontal spaced armour, so make sure if you're going to shoot at these things, it's going to penetrate. And there's the shot. And suddenly, he is not interested in coming over that hill and taking more of that. One of our Panzer IVs has just killed their Hummel, and I'm not that worried about an M7 Priest. It's only tier 4 artillery, so even if I have been spotted, I should be able to get across this field. You see, you end up having to take risks like this sort of thing when you're driving a T28 Prototype because it's so slow. You don't really have the luxury of taking the safe route around to where you're going to set up for your next shot. Oh, we'll have him. There you go, 4 kills. Okay. Yeah, sometimes you just have to take risks when you're driving this thing. But they need to be calculated risks. You can't just take stupid chances. And now they have no artillery left, so coming across the field like this turned out to be the right thing to do. And the enemy team are pretty much all bottled up next to their flag now. So let's hunt and kill us some Super Pershings. Really unfortunate game for those guys. Okay, I'm going to park up next to that T29 and use him to protect my flank, because he is in firing range of something. Ah, here we go. Come on, yep, have him. 5 kills. And check out this Panzer IV. He does have a lousy gun, that 75mm L48. But from the sides, it's enough to kill an IS on low health. And then suddenly, all they've got left is a T29. And that went from being a fairly even match to an utterly humiliating defeat very, very, very quickly. Panther 2 on the hill up there played an amazing game. The amount of damage he did to the enemy team from up there was spectacular. Really using that machine to its strengths. And there you go, game over. So not a bad result. But the post-battle results screen really does bear closer inspection on the face of this result. I mean, you look at that and you think, yeah, 5 kills in the T28 Prototype, great game. Well, was it? Let's see. So, on the face of it, a really, really good game. And it wasn't bad. I mean, the team won pretty easily. But I didn't actually do as well as you'd think. I mean, look at that. 5 enemy tanks killed. That's pretty good. But what did I actually do? Well, it was mostly just... I hesitate to use the word, but it was just pretty much me kill-stealing. I mean, I never put more than 1 shot into any of these guys, other than that Super Pershing, who I hit twice. So if you look at the team scores and you sort them by kills, you think, oh, check out that guy in the T28 Prototype. Awesome. 5 kills. What a player. Well, not really. I mean, I did do 1600 damage, which isn't bad. 8 shots fired, 6 hit, and all 6 that hit penetrated. But that's not especially good. Only did 1600 damage to the enemy team. And we did kill everything that we shot at. But those guys were on low health anyway, and I was basically just kill stealing. I mean, it's not that I set out to do that, but that's what ended up happening. This Panther 2, check that out. Look at that, he just never stopped shooting, and he kept hitting, and he kept penetrating, and did 3,300 damage. He did twice as much damage to the enemy team as I did. And he killed 3 of them. So that's an exceptionally good game for the Panther 2 player there. More importantly, check this out. Look at the Tiger. He's only tier 7. Look at that. Over 2,000 damage. 95% hit rate. And hit and penetration rate. You know, that's absurdly good. He got no kills. But he did way better than I did. And spotting damage. That means he was getting stuck in. You know, he wasn't hanging around and sniping at the back in a tier 8 game in his tier 7 Tiger. He got stuck into the fight and battered the crap out of 8 enemy tanks. He played a fantastically good game, and, you know, Confederate and sniper, richly deserved. But look at this Tiger 2 here. Now, on the face of things, just looking at the results screen without going into greater detail, he was terrible. He didn't kill anybody. He got the crap beaten out of him, and he killed a friendly. Well, actually look at the detailed results. This guy got a steel wall because he took 29 hits. This fellow was in the thick of the fight from the very start of the game. He was dishing it out, and he was taking it. Did nearly 2,000 damage to enemy tanks. Again, did better than I did. And he got hammered. He was doing his job. Tier 8 heavy tank, tier 8 game. He was getting stuck into the fight. And look at that. Nearly 2,000 damage on spotting. This damage done to tanks that he detected. You don't get that by sitting at the back of the field. This fellow was doing his job. He was just unlucky that he didn't get any kills. And he only did 276 damage to friendlies, which ended up being enough to kill whoever it was he hit. And I didn't see it. But looking at this screen, that is almost certainly not his fault. In the thick of the fight, getting hit from all directions, pummeling the enemy team, somebody jumped in front of his gun. That's basically what happened there. I mean, I don't know, I didn't see it happen, but looking at the stats, that seems to be obvious to me that that is what happened. This is a good player. But if you just sort the game by kills, and you look at that, oh, he's crap. You know, he got the crap kicked out of him, he didn't kill anybody, but he managed to kill a friendly. Useless player. Actually, no. Sorted by experience earned. And look at the results. He did really, really well. So, how about the enemy team? Well, I was kind of worried when I saw this Super Pershing platoon, because those are decent tanks. Two of them together, they generally know what they're doing. But what happened to the Super Pershings is kind of the exact opposite of what happened to me. I mean, I'm a really slow vehicle as well, with very good frontal armour. But I started on top of the hill, with a clear run across flat ground to get into the town, where I could be in cover and actually put this thing to work. And I actually got some spotting XP as well. I mean, that never happens in a T28 Prototype. You're usually the last one into the game. So because of where I started, I was able to do well. These two Super Pershings started with the medium tanks down in the valley, and they had to climb all the way up the hill to find anything to shoot at. And by the time they got there, everything that was on their side was dead, and they were next. So the game really, really hamstrung those two Super Pershings. They just didn't have the opportunity to contribute. And, you know, their scores kind of reflect that. But it's not their fault. You can't really blame these guys. It's just the way the game was set up. If they had started at the top of the hill and been able to get into the town in those tanks before coming under fire, that could have been a substantially different result. But the game put them in the valley and basically neutralised them until we were ready to deal with them. And that's what gets you that kind of result. So, not a bad result in the T28 Prototype. Not especially good, despite the fact that we got 5 kills. They weren't 5 very good kills. It was just me kill stealing. But, you know, dead tanks are dead tanks. They're not shooting back at you after you've killed them. Sounds obvious, but, you know, it's what wins games. So there you go, T28 Prototype. Having a decent game on Westfield. As always, take care on the battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.
This video is part of the Way movement, a career path in video sponsored by TGN. To learn more, visit tgn.tv.